visuals, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, an edition of Superhero Wednesday, where I am extremely late to the party. Because we have finally got our hands on a PlayStation, more importantly a PlayStation 5. I will add the most hideous console you will ever get in your entire life. I mean, it's great, the pads are beautiful, but the console itself is just... bleh. But I'm late to the party because the only reason why I bought a PlayStation and got myself into some debt. Don't just get yourself into debt for reasons like I'm about to tell you, because it's just pointless. And luckily, B was able to add it to a phone bill, and I'm doing it through that way. But I only got a PlayStation because PlayStation comes with some exclusive games. It's probably obvious what I'm going to say. Well, the thumbnail and title gives it away anyway. That's right, as a primarily an Xbox user and a Nintendo user for Pokemon, and Xbox is my everyday YouTube and Netflix, blah, 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 and games. I've never been able to play the Spider-Man games unless I've borrowed a console. God of War as well is also some of my favourite games of all time. We used to have a PlayStation 2, did all them. And every time a new God of War come out, I have to borrow my brothers or whatever, play God of War on that. But no, I've got myself a PlayStation so I can purely just get the Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales games, and then the Spider-Man 2 and potentially Wolverine. I don't know if Wolverine's going to be on both, the Logan game, but just in case. I've had to get one so I can play Spider-Man, so it's time for a it's completely years ago this game now, because I think it was it 2018 or 19 this game come out. So it's a very late Spider-Man, and I'll still say spoiler heavy, because I will tell you the plot and stuff, review of Spider-Man the video game. Depending if I can complete it quick enough, I will be doing a review of Spider-Man Miles Morales. But I haven't completed it at the time of recording, so there will not be a review as of yet. But yes, I have finally done it. I've seen all, I can see like Jacksepticeye and whatnot, play it and finish it all. But I finally done it. Spider-Man, the video game, and wow. And as well, what else I could do now is I could buy the Funko Pops. I've never bought the Funko Pops for these games, so I thought I haven't played the games. I haven't really got the right to collect them in. I've not interacted with. I don't know why, the white suit and stuff. I haven't really thingied, but now I can buy the Funko Pops. So get more into debt. Get in. But wow. Again, every time we talk Spidey, I know I'm extremely biased. I get it. The biggest question I always do straight away in superhero games, straight away off the bat, is it better than the Batman Arkham games? No. I really don't think anything will. For me, my favourite one of my favourites between Pokemon and this of all time is Batman Arkham Asylum. I fucking adore that game so much. But I also adore this game. This game was fucking outstanding. As a Spider-Man fan and as a comic book fan, it had everything that I wanted anyway. It was sheer non-stop hardcore action. It had a great story featuring a load of amazing villains, which just looked fantastic in this game. Because like primarily it's Mr. Negative you're up against. Yeah, I love Mr. Negative, he's a great villain, but to go toe to toe with him inside of the video game was so much fun. But again, even though he was the core villain, because it starts off hard and heavy, like I said, there's gonna be I can't really spoil it. The game's been out for fucking ages. To introduce you to the game, you have to go toe to toe with Kingpin. Friggin' amazing. And then we get with this journey of like Phil's being put away. Then this new gang of masks, these demon gangs coming in. It's Mr. Negative, he's controlling it all, but there's a big story there evolved around Norman Osborn, which has another thing which we'll get to in a sec. But it also introduces you to the characters. Again, we already knew him, but we get Miles in this. That's why we got the Miles game, and I cannot wait to get into that. Again, I've seen how it all plays out, but it's going to be friggin' amazing. We get the likes of Black Cat, Taskmaster popping in. Friggin' anytime Taskmaster comes in, always a massive win for me. Scorpion looking awesome in this. Vulture looking awesome. Elektra looks cool as fuck. The Rhino being big and badass. Then a couple of other little things like Mysterio is like a fancy dress cosplay player and stuff. Everything in this game. J. Jonah Jameson, like the little podcast stuff as you're swinging around, fucking flawless. A new and different origin of Doc Ock. You're working with Doc Ock. He gets his arms. Shit goes south. It was great, and I love these games where you start off, you're in a big city, and you just go around ticking off different points. Whether I was doing Harry's mum's thingy boxes, de-polluting the air, helping the fish or whatever, or collecting the backpacks, or doing Black Cat's, getting her cats and stuff. Everything about this game was so much fun. I love collecting stuff up. And again, it was nice and long in terms of everything. That is the overall story, I think, because you have to do New Game Plus, and I just went for the main story. I think it's 6 to 7 hours. But I probably spent about, I don't know, 15 to 20 hours just collecting everything, getting everything, because I only have the DLC achievements, I'm going to wait till I get paid to do the DLCs. So I'll do the DLCs in a one straight sitter, and then I'll start Miles. But yeah, this game covered everything. I will say the highlight for me was the fight between you and Doc Ock at the end on the side of the Oscott building. The way that your webs have been destroyed and he's attacking you, going at you, but then you're trying to reach to him and you're trying to get back to the old Doc Ock. And there's some very, very emotional moments between the two, especially at the end of the fight. And it was just all amazing. And as well, the bit that I thought at first was going to be tedious, but wasn't tedious, I actually really enjoyed it, was the moments where you were MJ or Miles and you had to go around and sneak behind people and whatnot. But the Grand Central Station one was friggin' sick. The demons and Miss Nugget have done their shenanigans, whatever. The demon breath's about to go off, and you're MJ going through, and you're like, Peter, take him. And Peter's Spider's coming in and taking him from the ground, and the demons from the ground. It was just so much fun. I was like, oh my god, this is sick as fuck. There's moments where the big guy skyscraper's falling, you're going around, you're webbing it up, and you have helicopters going off and that. It was just so much fun. And the web slinging, oh my god. I probably spent an hour alone. There's shit happening. There's police saying, there's a break in here, there's a kidnapping here. I'm just like, I'm swinging. Sorry. Your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man's just swinging. And then developing your skills, because you have to get all the Taskmaster stuff, challenges to get the best scores. And having some, at first I was awful at the web thing. I was just like, wee swing. But I had to proper try and practice and turn it down if I wanted to get all the marks on the different Taskmaster challenges. And itself, even though repetitive, because I kept failing the challenges, I was always a couple of points behind. Eventually we did them, but it was always fun because it was just nice web singing, going proper quick with it all. I fucking loved it. Fucking Silver Sable coming in, fucking Al Sable and that coming in and doing their shit. What the fuck? All of it was just amazing, massive homage to the world, the vast world and the Rogues Gallery that Spider-Man has. It was great. Big massive twisty twist at the end. Of course, the Miles one was cool because for him to get bit, we had to be MJ. We broke into Osborn's penthouse, go into his lab. You bring a spider back, Miles gets bit. But then the cutscene at the end where Harry has been in the cryo chambery sort of tube thing with the symbiote around him. The symbiote's already here because we know Venom's going to be here anyway. So Harry's looks like he's going to be the Venom in the next game, unless Venom gets loose and Harry's fine on one of them. It still finds an Eddie. I don't know because the game's not out yet. But oh my fucking god, what a nice thing! And obviously Miles says, "Hey Peter, I've got something to show you." He jumps on the ceiling, you jump on the ceiling. We've got 2 Spider-Men. Usually with some games, including games I love like the Pokemon games, but there's usually bits that drag a bit and you're a bit like, ugh. But none of this felt that way. All of this just felt so amazing. Like I said, from web slinging to collecting backpacks to taking down Fisk construction sites, whatever it may be, all of it was so cool. The big moment, because obviously you took a lot of the Sinister Six out together. So at first glance, they're on the roof to kick the shit out of you. Doc Ock comes where you go, but then you take out Rhino and Scorpion. You take out Electro and Vulture. I will say as well, the Scorpion stuff where he poisons you and you're swinging through the city and it looks like there's a sea full of poison. Just reminded me of the Nightmare stuff from Batman. And I thought to myself, Batman stuff might have done it better. Purely, I think, because of the Nightmare stuff, that theme just fits in a lot better. Even though this was still done and executed beautifully, the Batman stuff did it slightly better. But it was still fun and still enjoyable, the tails coming up and trying to get you and whatnot. But this game was just... And at the end, it goes 100 miles an hour from taking down each member. Eventually you get to Miss Negative, then you get to Doc Ock. Game done and dusted. Aunt May, the death of Aunt May, we've had it again. I know you guys who have played the game long before me have already had this, but to me, I've had Aunt May from the MCU die a couple of weeks back, and I've had this Aunt May die. And it always comes in threes. Where's the next one? It's not like Aunt May hasn't died before. We've had some Aunt May shenanigans in comics before. A lot of weird getting actors and stuff in to pretend to be... We've had a lot of Aunt May death. Golden Oldie! Fucking hell! Yeah, there's honestly, there's nothing negative I could say about... Hey, negative! There's nothing bad I could say about the game. It was... the Oscorp bit where the Sable troops are looking at the building, you have to go through the side and divert away. It was amazing. 10 out of 10, flawless. I loved it. Yeah, have I reviewed it or have I just said I really like this bit? Really like this bit. The game is funny. It's flawless. It's so much fun. It's fast paced when you're doing certain fight stuff and certain sequences. It's hard hitting. It's emotional. It's a beautiful Spider story, and it really does a great job at symbolising the friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man stuff, stopping small petty crimes and whatnot. I did find it funny when all the city's in chaos, though, and the Avengers Tower's there, and you're like, everything's in absolute chaos. Care to give us a hand, you know? Stark, you up there? Cap, Thor, Hulk? Any of you want to come down and... No, just leave it all up to the Spider? No worries. Something else I absolutely adored to do was just to get in a big crowd of people, jump from a tall building, they all go, oh my god! And then you just pick up like a trash can or whatever, and you swing it around, and everybody in the street just drops to the deck. I love doing that. And one last thing I'm going to point out, right? See, when they make these games, they're all like in New York and stuff. Is that accurate? I have actually been to New York, but it was very brief and I was very young. But is it accurate? So all the buildings that are there, I know some of the main buildings, obviously the Avengers Tower's not there, but like just the regular buildings, is that actually how it looks, or have they just sort of done a generic New York? Could somebody let me know? But yes, with all that being said, I think we'll end it there. I think I reviewed it well enough there. Like I said, it's old. Even Miles is old now. But at least when the next Spider-Man comes out, I can complete it straight away and I can give a decent, hopefully a decent enough review. But that was Spider-Man, the video game review, done, dusted, 10 out of 10. It just ticked every box for me as a superhero game, as a Spider-Man story, as a comic book story. All of it was amazing. As I'm talking about PlayStation, the Xbox symbol just goes off. Yes, if you haven't already visuals, don't do what I did and get yourself into debt to get a PlayStation. Afford one. If you haven't got it and you have got a PlayStation, get Spider-Man. So freaking good. Visuals, thank you for watching. Spider-Man was amazing. That was your edition of Superhero Wednesday. Visuals, remember to always keep being you and keep on. Oh, I'm singing on. And then next week, potentially, probably, maybe, should be the Miles review.